And acquire universities in that is all that they speak. But can but the actual one become a problem. Alaska. Yes, because school is here. You put a premium on your friends say yeah, Chradia man crying the Bibia show mumu, and then now cry is so easy to pass through. Pass questions. Okay, university and so for now bet me I will pass questions but Gutima you pass and get your first class and go away. I don't know the day Nipa no bow with nothing. Over the years that is what we've been battling with. So a man crying real school or more transition into the job market about your problem. So okay no and I just say we are trying to find a solution to that problem. But then no. You're taking your back centuries away, and I hear dealing with issues of accommodation, issues of feeding, issues of way, and the supply of food. Secondary school has become a major problem, and there is a competitive interest in all of this. Now, no Kevin Taylor, yes, is a buffer stocker among supply schools. No, you're the Omoka and the MTO, and the minister no assign creating another buffer stock. I private. Our money will supply because Obuka Kwajana Kata free ho. Alaska, that is a challenge. So challenge now, Banam, Aba you be Christmas. I found my yedidi, but Nkrano, Ubako grounds, no, a Biane yebiti about your problem. Teacher Nivi frame or your dining hall master. Or say problem, no, a jeans a mubat or Suroko can. A beginning, and I bet Pamano.
The Lava Handra, you still called that Northern Region, one of the schools. School for no farm play to be a headmaster also.
Oh yeah, I saw the video. War secondary school.
That's right.
It's a major problem. War secondary school.
But yes, so the education minister will come and deny this.
Yes, but that guy, some catcher say, "Oh, better who will be on the bet to Bobo." We never be able to find the free as education minister no. Or yeah, colloquial rough. Oh, Alaska. He has no clue. Yeah. And Ghana for that is how gullible we are. And I checking the baby and the bet to Bobo. Alaska, who create himself for the Papa Biam education sector? Time. And consistently, education sector is one of the most sensitive we know, battling with nothing but crass incompetence and the ignorance of certain individuals. At the back of it, this desire to make money for themselves. They don't care about what happened to the kid. So my culture says, we are talking about future leaders. The today, you know, you can't secure it. You can't lay hands on today. How can you be talking about the future? Because education is the man crying on there, no, and the determine the future. So Alaska in the school, there be another problem in what happens in the dormitory. They say there will be food ration. A man for say we are man for we are. You do a man for chop box or anything for because. Now no situation you know abaye way everybody is striving for survival. So nkrano musia sa neema school no they won the future leaders no said the moral foundation and the degradation that be American one say the very moral foundation of our society is broken, shattered and is gone no yeah be to aso sa nkrano beba abaye the next line of politicians you will continue on the same thing. Alaska, so it's a problem, it's a crisis that we have at hand. Anchor government being conscious of this, you know, on one case I knew say okay, free researchers policy, no, I say my cabinet me. But the buy, you know, I never envisaged this extent and there were problems in the also. And let me meet stakeholders. How do we go around it? Because it's a policy that's in play, but still we can redesign. Now, almost yes, structure no some engagement. Yes, you shame. The government ever fire a tuition na board and as for month for Twitter and as for you see, let us infuse certain ingenuity into our thinking. Say we a bit me appreciate policy no in a former Alaska a bit me boy. But everything has been reduced to politics. IMF and can because government in a car because IMF citing reasons a government and citing yeah. IMF say educational outcome now has been poor. So any government in the video on that option. And because IMF deal, one of the reasons that IMF deal by say they will do everything to ensure say you cut down on spending.
Very well.
Expenditure back from.
Oh, very disciplined in your
yes.
That's right.
They call creating new employment that 20 a month for no. They will make sure say Sebi Oba or sika semne na sefo ebetime gina na nan so na economy enjingu. So Alaska the ombe ensure say won westi sika bia no ombe. So some of the sika oman sika otherwise na yefa na aban se maso da me na ebewu o se me ba me nsi cathedral akufa do se ya se ne papa so obewu o se oba o nsi cathedral ntino wa ba na se ona cathedral no Ghana shekro be si cathedral na Alaska era cathedral no mudisi so na o man sika enti e kwa kobu dan agu e cantonment in the center of Accra ye bebu agu e ya tam sika Alaska de hia yen the most crucial part air hospitals are yes agenda 111 is agenda 222 agenda 777 no Alaska on hospital go baby na no mete say obi say yenya asase na me say yenya asase na ya drawing na say we drawing no ya o ka kusi dan na si ensuo so na o ka kusi si wiem be si na agenda 111 no menye hu bi wo baby ya Alaska na yete ho ene eno na hia Ghana fo eno but cathedral na sabi yemfa so bia ni so no eno kra no hewe ekokoduru ya okola general hospital yebugu ye no hospital infrastructure eye adwuma yensi foforo na yen condemn we ni yebugu ye ene nkra bobo ho Alaska
buni much nyina o
Alaska and also we appointment aban ye na no mete say yes appoint you for funeral and mortuary something yeah. Alaska we are so funny amamo na yebunu asa agudie ena woni pa ni so ena meka se adwen na adwen ma oman no asa akora odwen e oburo nyabre no tu nani akokọ nam na ohun otu nani a emo ne na sefo nti ne timia ne de oh Alaska
amamo no ti se akwala odwen buro nya
yes what asa utima ya de that is what the way they are behaving ko Alaska enka bia ejina if you really understand Ghana's economic situation on the basis say all the credible rating agencies globally recognize how more duty for man for nimo mo enyina downgrade you ene ebinu so we junk ebinu so we say using all kind of your friends unpleasant adjectives to describe our economy to the extent that the credit space will be locked out. We can access loan from anywhere. Apart from say be IMF deal ya buy na say be ever try to convince people. Now Alaska our economy to could do that particular level. Now the only option that you have is the IMF so be dealer. Alaska, can you be using money to do all these things? And Akufo-Addo was suspected say and Kadieko swingina and the size of government in Alaska at that point in time not pump a lot of people into parliament into the ministerial positions. Yes. And the pana omoda payroll so obi uko keta port or makacha support be any signboard ni si wono papa no be sin na say da so tuanaka upon all the some Ghana for akanyina the man never pay hit to anybody because he doesn't respect anybody. So these are the realities underpinning Ghana's the current economic circumstances are you finding your win are self-inflicted. Certain individuals have vowed that they will do all that they could to bring this particular country on its knees. And on the issues of corruption in Alaska, as a government when you such a hint, mayor and I will take certain earnest measures to ensure that Sabi Sikana Irana will recover to certain extent. Besinde the age didn't report to buy the COVID report to buy someone for Disika and a COVID money, were misapplied, were misappropriated, were used for other things otherwise not intended in as a form of Alaska. Then you see, Besine COVID-19 reporter, the Auditor General procure, nobody has lifted even a sheet from that document.
So about the whole thing.
Exactly, because the chief prosecutor, who happens to be the Attorney General, who is supposed to prosecute people involved in those shady scandals on behalf of the state, that same person was fighting the author of that particular document.
For the publication.
For the publication. So only who can publish it. Alaska. So the state, is so guilty to the extent, say, and need that moral, your friend say, that moral weight to take up any issue. So your jagum, and the area, the babosia, the area, and now minor tobaha, and consistently, banka me catch obia say, about sonka on my qua, that is where intelligence is coming to bear. That is where you see people going to the drawing board, trying to realign priorities. Na yen design, ye theories in as a forum, na yan kasa yan coming out with the solution at our level. I have to deal with the situation because IMF to say that is the only way we can survive. It is never going to be the case because Alaska, Makachro, Sika by saying so already $600 million now. this year is a annual review na say pass ya ticket ya na say ya konya another 600 kan why say 1.2 billion 1.2 billion into this economy. Alaska change bayan ebetime change yen it means chisa your fortunes my government that particular well waiter to create job opportunity for the youth.
Even the governor of Bank of Ghana say IMF na ye ko no enye for say so ye how you know, but at least as you rightly say supposed to investor
yes. So good. So the question and made the bia me can say on our own no e dey be na ye
very well
sikana ye too guno. Can't we realign and look at our priorities? Because my country said this planting for food and jobs in as for a long term, no, and something positive. Our government can look at it because and never be a your problems. So if that is the case, in the midst of our challenges, you know, how do we find a way to ensure that we push a lot of people into these areas like say either fish farm, you know, either say a rice farm, you know, whether it is poultry production, you know, we know that in the long term, no, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Alaska, we are battling, your friends say, certain crisis today, but when you hear tunnel, no more, you see that there is a certain hope because we have a significant number of our youth who are going into poultry production, some who are going into rice farming, those who are going to this area, and the problems na yet to host is no, like a temper, but we know we'll be transitioning into an era where the economy will blossom.
But as it stands now,
nothing. Bona pay as you go because we have rather transitioned into an era where we are going to be armed with some powers and opportunity to go and borrow more. Because America just I am a family deal. I am a family deal to move as yes. And then with this common framework initiative and that suspension initiative we are so mutimi de to so na ye 50 billion na month bia every year bia ye service your debt no yet bo modern e pia hye baabi na atwetwe kwa akira. That is when the okan e ebebam ye benya ye first that fiscal space and then we will be borrowing more to fill the sheet again. I know the day when ye no the debt to GDP of this particular country no na makato said so what baabi na sa wona wo say we economist wona wo say we hwan na sa we rely on Ghana's GDP now the year any analysis be you are only fooling yourself because and reflected the reality on the ground. That is why countries have moved on from the GDP to other indices yeah they analyze how well an economy is doing and most of the indices are human development index happiness index and several other indices actually because so the GDP now most of the companies now involved in production and as for mu raise am I near money now cause scan as for no munya nyina no how many of them stay in this particular country? And these guys, most of them have tax incentive, tax holidays.
But all your calculation, you
exactly. So I know the day, you know, sikana eka kroma no nyesika, obetimi agian so aka say reflected in the lives of the people. Alaska. So we need to move to a point young kasabe confident because there be when I read around Thailand, say Thailand, this are my way. Baby America for call wo yi kram from o me will fit country in the meka chiro Alaska I ne that country has come back today or more invest significantly in Africa ne meka cho say Ghana in a year ya nkasa yetimi fasika call e ko kram mo de bakroma and several other countries